Have you ever wondered what happens when you turn 70? Many of us imagine that our family will always be there to catch us when we fall. But here's a truth that often surprises people. Your family may not always be the solid rock you can rely on as you age. So, if not family, what truly forms the foundation of support for older adults? What gives us the strength to stay independent, resilient, and thriving as the years go by? Let's explore this question together by looking at the story of Mrs. Margaret, a remarkable 72-year-old woman who has walked a path many older adults can relate to. For much of her life, Mrs. Margaret was surrounded by her children and grandchildren, and like most of us, she believed that her family was the cornerstone of her support system. They were her everything, her source of love, comfort, and joy. For years, her family provided her with the emotional and physical support that made aging feel like a gentle experience, filled with moments of connection and care. But as time moved on, something changed. Her children, having their own lives, careers, and responsibilities, became busier. The grandchildren, once so eager to spend time with her, began to grow up, chasing their own dreams and passions. The once constant presence of her family began to fade, leaving her feeling a little more isolated. And that's when Margaret noticed something that many older adults face. The demands of her own health, physical needs, and emotional well-being often went unnoticed, even by those who loved her dearly. It was at this point that Margaret realized a powerful lesson. While family is undoubtedly important, it isn't always the unshakable support system we expect it to be as we grow older. As Margaret embarked on her own journey of self-discovery, she uncovered something truly remarkable. 5 pillars of support that were stronger, more reliable, and more sustaining than any family connection. These pillars became her new foundation, offering her not just the strength to face life's challenges, but the power to live independently, with purpose, and with a renewed sense of joy. So what are these 5 pillars? What are the sources of support that can help us stand tall no matter our age? Today, we're going to dive into these 5 powerful pillars that will not only help you weather the storms of aging, but will also inspire you to live your golden years with vitality, grace, and independence. Stay tuned as we uncover these 5 transformative sources of support that go far beyond what any family can offer. Pillar number 1. Mental and emotional health. Let me introduce you to Mr. Thomas, a 75-year-old widower who faced one of the toughest moments of his life when his wife Alice passed away. They had spent over 50 years together, sharing a deep bond that many only dream of. Their relationship was full of love, laughter, and memories. But when Alice passed, Mr. Thomas found himself standing at the edge of a vast, lonely world, unsure of how to move forward. The loss was crushing. His children, living in different cities with their own lives to manage, couldn't be there as often as they'd like. The comfort he had once taken in their company had begun to fade. He felt a deep emptiness inside, a silence that was only made more apparent by the stillness of his home, once filled with the joy of his wife's presence. At first, Mr. Thomas struggled to cope. It was hard to imagine finding joy again. But then, something unexpected happened. He had a conversation with an old friend who shared how meditation had helped them find peace after tough times. Curious and not one to shy away from new experiences, Mr. Thomas decided to try it for himself. He started small, committing to just 10 minutes each morning. He sat in his favorite chair by the window, breathing deeply and letting the calm of the morning fill him. The first few sessions were challenging. His mind constantly drifted back to the pain of losing Alice. Yet, he pressed on. Gradually, he began to feel a shift. The noise in his head started to quiet, and with that stillness, he found a sense of peace he hadn't felt in months. Meditation didn't take away his grief, but it gave him the space to experience it differently. It helped him process his emotions, face his loneliness, and find strength in his own resilience. Over time, Mr. Thomas added journaling to his routine, writing down his thoughts, his feelings, and the things he was grateful for. This simple act of reflection gave him clarity, allowing him to reconnect with himself and his own emotional well-being. As his meditation practice deepened, Mr. Thomas realized something profound. His emotional strength didn't depend solely on his family. Yes, his children were important, but the power to cope, to heal, and to find peace lay within him. He found a support system in his own heart, one that didn't need to be dependent on the busy lives of his children. His mind became his greatest ally, and through meditation, he rediscovered a resilience he didn't even know he had. Mr. Thomas's journey teaches us that mental and emotional health are far more powerful than we often give them credit for. It's easy to feel alone when our family can't always be present, but by cultivating practices like meditation, journaling, and self-reflection, we can build an emotional foundation strong enough to weather any storm. It's not about avoiding tough emotions, but rather embracing them with compassion and strength. We all face challenges as we age: loss, loneliness, physical changes. But by shifting our mindset and focusing on gratitude, positive thinking, and self-compassion, we can find peace even in the darkest times. Like Mr. Thomas, you too can find the strength within yourself to rise above whatever life throws your way. Pillar number 2, financial stability and independence. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Dorothy, an 80-year-old woman whose life has been a testament to the power of financial independence and foresight. Mrs. Dorothy spent over 40 years as a dedicated school teacher, shaping the minds of young students and giving them the tools to succeed. Throughout her career, she was diligent about her finances, always mindful of her spending and committed to saving for the future. As her children grew older and moved to different cities, creating their own families and responsibilities, Mrs. Dorothy never felt the weight of financial burden. She had always made it a priority to live within her means and save for the future, knowing that her ability to maintain her independence in old age would depend on the financial habits she set up long before retirement. By the time Mrs. Dorothy reached her 80s, her efforts had paid off. She had built a solid financial foundation thanks to years of disciplined saving, investing wisely, and making sound decisions with her money. Her pension, 401k, and low-risk investments had grown, and she felt secure in her ability to live comfortably without relying on her children despite their willingness to help. Mrs. Dorothy didn't need to lean on her family for financial support. Instead, she continued to live in her own home, traveled when she felt like it, and maintained the lifestyle she loved, one that allowed her the freedom and dignity to enjoy her golden years. Her story highlights a crucial truth. Financial stability in old age is one of the most empowering pillars of support. While family is invaluable, we all want to feel secure and in control as we age. The reality is that family members often have their own financial responsibilities and commitments. While they may be more than happy to help, relying on them can sometimes create strain on both sides. This is why Mrs. Dorothy's approach is so inspiring. By planning for her retirement early, she was able to continue living life on her terms without the stress of asking for financial help. Having a solid financial plan allows you to live without feeling like a burden to anyone. It's about knowing that you have the resources to enjoy your life, maintain your health, and pursue your passions without worrying about money. Planning for your financial future doesn't start when you retire. It begins much earlier. Even if you're just starting out on your journey, it's never too late to begin saving. The key is to make smart choices with your money. This could mean contributing to retirement accounts like IRAs or 401ks, building an emergency fund, or working towards paying off any outstanding debt. Financial independence is not just about covering the basics, it's about giving yourself the freedom to make choices and live the life you want, regardless of age. When you're not bogged down by financial anxiety, you have the mental space to focus on the things that truly matter: maintaining your health, nurturing relationships, and indulging in hobbies or new interests. This is exactly what Mrs. Dorothy enjoys every day. She can savor her retirement knowing that the foundation she built over decades allows her to live with peace of mind and confidence. Financial security acts as a pillar of support in old age, not just offering comfort, but the ability to live life with dignity and joy. Just like Mrs. Dorothy, you can build a future where financial independence frees you from worry. With the right planning and discipline, you can ensure that your later years are full of opportunities, not financial stress. Pillar number 3, health and physical wellness. Let me introduce you to Mr. George, a 70-year-old retired engineer who has made physical wellness an integral part of his daily life. Mr. George has always believed that good health is the key to independence in old age. Even though his children live far away, in addition to his walks, Mr. George practices light strength training several times a week. He doesn't aim to lift heavy weights or push his body to extremes. Instead, he focuses on exercises that improve his balance, coordination, and core strength. This simple but effective routine, combined with a diet tailored to his needs, helps him maintain his overall wellness. Through his dedication, Mr. George has learned that staying active is one of the best ways to reduce the risk of chronic health problems and to preserve his independence, even as the years go by. What Mr. George's story demonstrates is that physical wellness is a cornerstone of living a fulfilling life in old age. We often think of ourselves as becoming more frail and needing more help as we grow older, but the reality is that by maintaining our physical health, we can significantly reduce our reliance on others. Mr. George's daily commitment to fitness shows that it is possible to live independently, to enjoy life on our terms, and to stay strong for as long as we can. The more we prioritize our health, the less we have to ask our family members for help with basic tasks like moving around, getting dressed, or managing daily activities. By adopting a healthy lifestyle, we not only lower the risk of illnesses, but also make sure we can do the things we love for years to come. Regular exercise can help reduce the risk of falls, improve balance, and strengthen our muscles, all of which are crucial for maintaining independence as we age. You don't need to do intense workouts to make a difference. Simple activities like stretching, walking, swimming, or even yoga can have a huge impact on how we feel and move. Every small step toward physical wellness counts, and over time it adds up. Even if you're just starting out, remember that every bit of movement helps, and it's never too late to start. By staying active, we also reduce the burden on others. Family members, who often juggle their own responsibilities, can rest easier knowing that we're capable of taking care of our own physical needs. Instead of asking for help, we can continue to contribute to our own well-being, giving us the freedom to live life independently and confidently. Mr. George's commitment to his health reminds us of something incredibly important. By investing in our physical wellness now, we are setting ourselves up for a healthier, more fulfilling future. It's one of the best ways to maintain strength, vitality, and independence as we grow older. So, let's embrace the power of movement. Whether it's through stretching, walking, or any other form of exercise that suits us, let's take charge of our health and build a foundation of strength that will carry us through the golden years. The freedom and independence that come with staying active are truly priceless. Pillar number 4. Social connection and community. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Clara, a vibrant and spirited 76-year-old woman who truly understands the power of social connection. Although her children live far away, Mrs. Clara has never felt isolated or alone. When she retired, she made a conscious decision to seek out ways to stay engaged and connected with others. She joined a local book club, something she had always wanted to do, and also became involved in a volunteer group that focused on community service. The book club was a perfect fit for Mrs. Clara. As an avid reader her entire life, it became a natural outlet for her to dive into literary discussions, explore new ideas, and share her insights. She found herself surrounded by people who not only shared her passion for books, but who also became great friends. Similarly, her volunteer group gave her a sense of purpose that was deeply fulfilling. She loved the idea of giving back, and through the group she contributed to various community projects like organizing charity drives, supporting local schools, and helping those in need. These two activities transformed Mrs. Clara's life. They not only filled her days with meaningful work, but also introduced her to a network of wonderful people who became an essential part of her life. Through her involvement, Mrs. Clara found that her new community didn't just offer companionship, it provided emotional, social, and even practical support. When she needed help with a small home repair, one of her book club friends was always there. When she was feeling a bit down, her volunteer group would check in on her, offering encouragement, support, and a listening ear. Over time, these relationships grew into deep, lasting friendships that became her true support system. Even though her family wasn't nearby, the connection she made within her community ensured that she never truly felt alone. These friends became a reliable source of comfort, care, and camaraderie, filling the gaps that distance created. Mrs. Clara's story emphasizes a powerful truth. Building a strong social network is just as important as family ties, especially as we age. Family is important, yes, but relying solely on them for emotional and practical needs isn't always realistic, especially if they are far away or busy with their own lives. That's where community comes in. Engaging with local clubs, volunteer groups, or community events helps us build meaningful connections with others who share our interests and values. These social connections offer more than just someone to talk to. They provide opportunities for growth, a sense of purpose, and the joy of contributing to something greater than ourselves. Being part of a community not only combats loneliness, but also gives us the emotional comfort we need and practical help when necessary. Mrs. Clara's friendships were more than just enjoyable social outlets. They gave her the security that she could rely on others no matter what. By investing in our social networks, we ensure that we have a support system in place as we age. Community involvement doesn't just enhance our lives, it gives us a sense of belonging and fulfillment. When you're part of something bigger, you feel like you matter. And when life throws challenges your way, you know that your community will be there to back you up. Mrs. Clara's life is a shining example of how we can create a sense of security and purpose by engaging with the world around us. No matter where your family lives, building a network of supportive and caring people in your local community can make all the difference. You'll always have someone by your side, whether it's for a chat, help with a task, or just sharing a joyful experience together. So, take the time to get involved in your community. Join a group, volunteer for a cause, or simply attend local events. The relationships you build will not only enrich your life, but will also ensure that you have the support you need to thrive as you grow older. Pillar number 5, personal purpose and legacy. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Thomas, a 79-year-old man who discovered his true calling later in life. After a fulfilling career in accounting, Mr. Thomas decided to retire, thinking that life might slow down and that he'd simply enjoy his newfound free time. However, he didn't expect that his retirement would spark a newfound passion, a passion for painting. What began as a way to pass the time quickly blossomed into a profound sense of purpose that filled his days with joy. Mr. Thomas spent countless hours in his home studio experimenting with colors, brushes, and techniques, letting his creativity flow in ways he had never imagined. Before long, his artwork became more than just a personal hobby. It became an expression of his soul, a reflection of the rich experiences he had accumulated throughout his life. And as he immersed himself in his art, he realized that the joy he derived from painting was amplified when he could share that joy with others. So he decided to give back by offering painting lessons to his friends and neighbors. The idea of teaching quickly became a new chapter in Mr. Thomas's life, and it brought him a deep sense of fulfillment. He was not just creating art, he was mentoring others, nurturing their own creative talents, and inspiring a new generation of artists. His students, both young and old, admired his skill, but more importantly, they cherished the passion and enthusiasm he brought to every class. For Mr. Thomas, each brushstroke was more than an artistic expression. It was a gift to others, a way to leave a lasting legacy. Through his painting classes, Mr. Thomas cultivated a community of learners and shared his wisdom and experience. His legacy wasn't just about the art on his canvas, it was about the knowledge and inspiration he passed on to his students. As they created their own pieces, they were also creating a ripple effect of creativity that would last long after Mr. Thomas was gone. For him, the most beautiful part of his art wasn't just what he created himself, it was the legacy of creativity, mentorship, and connection he left behind. Mr. Thomas's story illustrates the immense power of having a personal purpose, no matter your age. When we find something that gives our lives meaning, it sharpens our focus and keeps us mentally engaged. Whether it's through a hobby, volunteering, or teaching, finding a sense of purpose is essential to our well-being, especially as we grow older. Having a personal purpose can prevent feelings of isolation, purposelessness, and mental decline. It provides a reason to wake up every day with enthusiasm and motivation, knowing that you're contributing something meaningful to the world. The process of creating a legacy, whether through your art, your writing, your mentorship, or your life experiences, keeps your mind sharp, your spirit lively, and your connection to the world around you strong. It's not about the grandness of the legacy. It's about having something that makes you feel needed and valued. It could be as simple as passing down your skills to others, volunteering your time, or sharing your life lessons with younger generations. Mr. Thomas's journey reminds us that it's never too late to discover new passions, and in fact, it's often when we embrace personal purpose in our later years that we feel the most fulfilled and vibrant. By nurturing your own passions, mentoring others, or contributing to a cause you care about, you create a legacy that goes beyond just the things you leave behind. You leave an imprint on the lives of those you touch, and that's the true beauty of creating a meaningful legacy. So, take the time to find what excites you. Cultivate that personal purpose and embrace it fully. Just like Mr. Thomas, you'll find that pursuing something you love can keep your spirit youthful, your mind sharp, and your heart fulfilled. As we've explored today, the 5 pillars of mental health, financial stability, physical wellness, community connection, and personal purpose are not just ideas. They are essential sources of support that can truly empower us as we age. These pillars are often even more reliable than family, providing us with the strength and independence to live life to the fullest. By embracing them, we have the opportunity to build a life full of meaning, joy, and autonomy. And the best part? It's never too late to start creating the life you desire, no matter your age. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with these pillars? Feel free to share your experiences or insights in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit from these ideas. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.